What's up, babes? This is Carlisa Victoria back with yet another video. If you guys are new here, hi, welcome to my channel. And if you've already been subscribed, thank you so much for coming back. So wanted to make this video because as I was making my hair video in the car, it dawned on me that I really haven't spoke heavily on my decision to go back to corporate America times entrepreneurship. Now, I told you guys that I literally was doing that, and I think I touched on what details made sense, but I think that it's maybe a more in-depth video. It's going to make it make more sense for the people who are curious as to how I am strategizing. So this is my level up. This is how I'm reinventing myself, how I'm reinvesting in myself, and the things that I'm doing to become the better version of myself. So first things first, corporate America. First of all, the company in which I decided to go back to, we have a really good relationship. So I knew that I could make a phone call and they would make it happen. One, we have a great relationship. I've proven, you know, my loyalty to them in the past as well as they to me, and it's been all love. It's like family vibes, right? So I'm gonna be going back to doing that. I'm excited about just stepping back into an atmosphere that's going to be positive, conducive, and, you know, literally something that's going to just align with my purpose, my visions, my passions. Definitely gonna align with me in those areas. So I'm super excited about that. However, on this quest, I'm going to be able to take away a few things for myself. As I told you guys, it's very important for you to understand your why in life and also understand what being intentional means and how to be intentional when you are pursuing further goals and further career endeavors and things like that, things that you can be doing to boss up and become the better version of yourself. So first things first, y'all. Reasons as to why I made the decision to go back and do what I'm doing is the simple fact that why do I keep, I don't know that number. So the reasons why I decided to go back is, one, I'm betting on myself. I am investing in myself. I am becoming the better version of myself every step, every day at a time, one step every day, right? I believe that by going back, it's going to give me the ability to network. It's going to be able to give me the ability to manage. It'll give me the ability to just be in atmospheres that are oftentimes great, oftentimes rocky, oftentimes that's just what happens in businesses. Everything is not straight and narrow. There's times in which you're gonna have to boss up. There's times in which you're gonna have to rectify things. That's the whole thing of actually business management and things like that. And as you guys know, one of my degrees is in business. So to be able to go back to something that's going to allow for me to work on my entrepreneurial endeavors as I'm working on structure, because that's my biggest thing on going back. I believe that I will be able to adopt and create structure again in my daily routine. Not to say that I don't have it, but I think, okay, it's almost, let me give you an example. When you go for a run and it's been a long time, you might be able to run a good distance, but you're either out of breath or you notice that you can't run as much as you have in the past, and you notice that your stamina is just like not there. But if you keep running, you'll build up your endurance again. If you continue to keep doing it consistently, you'll build up your endurance. If you get a routine of doing it, you'll get that endurance back. You'll get that stamina back. You literally will exceed what you had already accomplished in the past. It's that for me. It's not that I've stopped completely. It's just I feel as though these things, first of all, when you're an entrepreneur, you set your own day. Be disciplined. Sorry, I'm watching TV as I'm talking to y'all. Be disciplined, be consistent. But there's days where you can literally be like, well, today I'm gonna sleep in, But imagine that there's a position that's waiting for you to get to that door. That's how you have to treat your businesses as well as entrepreneurs. But I'm just saying, in order to retain that job, you're gonna have to go show up to that job at that time, right? So by incorporating a corporate 9 to 5 or corporate any type of hour position back into my entrepreneurial endeavor to becoming, you know, that broker who owns her own firm, literally to me it makes sense. It's all about the routine. It's about the discipline. When I wake up in the morning and I go to Starbucks, or I wake up in the morning and I go to my desk and I'm working on my business stuff, that is a routine. That is if I don't do it one morning, it feels weird. If I don't do it one morning, I don't feel as productive. Like, it's that type of vibe. And by incorporating that back, it gives me that sense of structure that might not always have to be every day for me. And then you also have to realize too, my days are constantly changing. So I talk big on schedule blocking. Y'all know that schedule blocking my day is important. And as I explained in the past, schedule blocking is basically blocking off every hour, every minute, every second of your day with things to do. Whether it be the first 4 hours, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna go for a swim, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna write out goals, I'm gonna da-da-da-da. The next hour I'm gonna eat, the next 5 hours I'm gonna do business, the next, whatever your structure is. It's literally being intentional. When you want to be intentional about your life and about your goals, you will make sure that during your schedule blocking phases that you are literally making sure that you're engaging in the things that are going to assist you in what you have going on. So for me, things like that is what's going to push me right where I need to be. So that's what I'm going to strive to do. So I'll be back to that, and I feel really good because I feel like I have routine and I have schedule, but I do feel like by having, like, for example, I got a text message today that my schedule was created, right, for this upcoming week. Knowing, well, when I go in tomorrow, I go in Saturday, and then I go in the upcoming week like 4 or 5 days, right? So knowing that I know my hours as of right now, there's nothing added to it or anything like that, I can go ahead and write out my upcoming week and write out the hours and, you know, have my schedule pre-printed, pre-whatever, into my agendas and things like that. So I know exactly what I'm dealing with for the week. And then everything around those hours that I've agreed to work, I need to plug in. So my my gym, when I go work out, I need to do that. When all of those things need to be coupled with the hours that I already have set. Like I said, often as an entrepreneur, you are setting the entire day yourself. But when you're bringing that corporate America back in and there's hours that are set that you've agreed upon, they sent me the schedule, they said this work, I said it does. So now I'm able to start my week with hours in place. This day, this day, this day, this day, and then fill it in with fillers. So I know that there's a couple of things such as post licensing and things like that for me as on my broker level. I don't necessarily have to do this stuff right now. I can do this literally within the next, I could do this within the next like year or two, but I like to stay on top of my stuff. But I'm going to incorporate that. I'm going to incorporate things that I'm working on. All of those things I'm going to put together so that I can work toward actually achieving my goals. So I'm going to take a little bit of those, hours that I have to get in within the next like 2 years. I don't like to rush and be last minute. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to schedule it in between my week and say, well, if you have this many hours that you have to complete for your continuing education, why don't we block off your schedule this week with half of those hours? Or because you got to remember that even though I'm stepping back into the corporate industry, I'm not going to let corporate America, corporate industry deter me from my actual goals. It is going to assist me in getting to the places in which I want to get to faster, but also offer me the hands-on experience that I believe I need additionally to run my business successfully. Now, yes, I've been in positions that I'm going back into, and yes, I do feel like everybody's different. So dealing with people, managing people, doing things like that, it's always going to be different. You're going to have different personalities, different rotations, different situations, and things like that. And I think that that's always going to make you a key leader, because you don't know, oh, I'm going through this rah-rah with this person. Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. So it's different from what I've ever experienced, and that's what makes you a different leader. You know what I mean? That was makes you a better leader. Or, oh wow, her personality type is really popping. I just learned this from sis, and I never even knew that, or I never looked at things that way, and now I have learned from her, and now it gives me a different perspective on how to run my business. So I think that if you can look at, it's almost like I'm not looking at going back to this corporate job as a job. I'm looking at it as When you say you want to further yourself as an asset, and you say that you want to be the better version of yourself, you'll start to literally plug yourself into situations, into podcasts, into books, into seminars, into webinars, and things like that that can push you forward, right? So when I look at this company, and I look at my mission, and I look at what it is I'm supposed to be accomplishing there, I see it as, okay, this is me furthering myself as an asset by placing myself in situations where I could add value to myself, which in turn add value to them, which in turn add value to the business that I'm building, and in turn it's just going to add value all around. So I'm looking at it like that. I'm looking at it like a course that a teacher didn't say was mandatory, didn't say it was required, but you know that anything that is optional is required when you're trying to grow. You know what I mean? So you might not tell me to go read books on how to be successful. You might not tell me how to go look at videos on different financial topics and things like that to further myself just in life. But I'm gonna do it because it's a part of who I am. It's a part of what I'm growing into. It's a part of like my lifestyle. So that's how I'm looking at it. So I'm super optimistic. I know at one point when I went back, I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is too corporate. This is too, right? And at that moment, it was only going back for a specific cause as to why I was going to go back. But the perspective that I have right now, as I'm building to become my broker, to do my brokerage, I'm looking at things from a bigger and different perspective. Okay? So I think that there is a lot of positivity to go with me doing that and this. So I'm building my brand. That's why I said it is super important for me to write down and to establish everything I have on a personal basis that I have to get done, everything I have on a business basis I'm talking about. I need to know what costs, how much does this cost? When do I need to do this? What is the waiting period for this? Because that's all going to play into what I'm doing. So because my hours are about to become great and because I'm about to be on go all the time, it is important for me to make sure I stick to the structure. So on the days that I'm not working like today, these are the days, and I'm not saying I'm on the days that I'm not working at the corporate America and I'm working for me, I'm making sure that I'm getting these tasks done, so that I can be well-rounded and I can balance everything out and not have to feel like. So that's what I'm doing. I'm optimistic, I'm happy, I'm super, so we'll see how things go, but I'm super grateful. But my reasoning on going back was far greater than just a paycheck. Obviously, if you're in entrepreneurship, then you understand that a paycheck to you is not something that you're dying for. Like, you're not, if you take that risk for entrepreneurship. It could be days where your business is up. It could be days where your business is down. It could be days where you realize your business is stagnant, is not going anywhere, and you need to reinvent the business, the brand yourself. And I think that I'm packed with so much innovation, and it's time to unleash the innovation onto paper, unleash the innovation and manifest it into an actual business, release the innovations and literally allow those innovations to change my life. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not looking at it as I have a stable income. I'm not looking at it as that, because the biggest risk you can ever take is not taking one. The biggest investment that you can ever make is yourself. Bet on you. If you can bet on you, baby, there's nothing they can tell you. Sally and Sue down the street can't tell you nothing, sis, when you're betting on yourself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to write out a to-do list of things that I need to do. I do want to get another whiteboard. I feel like having a whiteboard in your house is just literally top tier for success. I used to have one. I don't have that one anymore, so I'm going to get a different one. I have a lot of calendars at home that I can write on that are like glass. Some are glass and some are, but I want to get an actual whiteboard again. And I want to be able to write my goals and stuff like that on that whiteboard, because there's something about putting the goals up there and accomplishing them and coming back to check them off on a whiteboard. I don't know what the statistical data is on this, but I feel like people who own a whiteboard are likely to be successful or have found more success in the things that they're doing by being a person who owns a whiteboard. I don't know, I just feel that way. I just feel like it. I just feel like, I don't know, you need to write it out. You need to see it. And yeah, I have a lot of agendas. I have my laptop, I have my computer, I have all those things. So I feel like I'm pretty set. But yeah, it's time to level up, boss up, and do whatever needs to be done. So I'm gonna spend the time today. I went to Dunkin' earlier, as you guys will see in the vlog that I post today. And when I went to Dunkin', I worked on looking at my credit reports. So if you're not familiar with annual credit report, you can go to annual credit, like my annual credit report, and you can get free credit report once a year. I think ever since COVID happened, you might be able to get it as often as that, like more than once a year, just because it was COVID. But annual credit, like I know people look at Credit Karma, but my annual credit report is going to show you all 3 bureaus, and that is the accurate like bureau report. So you'll get Equifax, TransUnion, Experian. It costs you $0. Just request. Make sure you're not clicking request free credit score, because the score I think charges you. But if you say request my credit reports, then it should show you, and you have to put in sensitive information that, you know, shows it's you, and then your reports are available. And then once you see your reports, you can save them to your desktop. You can figure out what is on your credit, dispute what you need to dispute, figure out what arrangements you can make for the things you need to do. So that's what I did today. I went to do my credit check, make sure that there was no, you know, there were things on there. I called them like, I don't know what this is, because I didn't do this. So disputing could be a thing, like, so that's what I spent time doing. I walked in at the time where they were interviewing people today, so I think I walked in at the wrong time. Even though I'm pretty cool with them up there, it still was like interviews in the lobby while I was working. The music was loud and I was cold, so I had to leave soon. But before I left, I wanted to make sure that I wrote down everything that I seen on my credit report that I had questions about, or needed dispute, or I seen was gonna fall off of my credit by the end of the year. Because when things fall off of your credit, a lot of times it can affect your credit score in a positive way, sometimes negative. If it's good payment history and it's falling off, that could be negative. But if it's, you know, bad debt or something old or whatever and it's falling off, that could maybe jump your credit score up. There's a lot of things. So I like to write out, when I look at my credit reports, collections. Are there any collections? I like to look at payment history. What is that? I like to look at what's supposed to fall off of my credit and when, and things like that. And I like to just write out plans for whatever. So I was able to accomplish that there, and I wrote in my notebook just a little bit pertaining to what I have to get done. But right now I need to sit down. I know my doctoral courses are starting in August. I have some classes that are coming up, and I've registered them, but I have to make sure I do the semester check-in and stuff like that for August. So I know that I'm going to be balancing doctoral courses plus post-licensing education that I have to do, plus self-education that I have to do for my brands and business stuff, plus just trying to get everything together to get the brokerage up and running. So in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to be making sure my water game is up, making sure that I'm literally strategically placing my day in order, and it all starts, to me, it's all gonna start with sleep, okay? Because I feel like yeah, it's your health, it's what you're drinking, it's all that, but because I feel like I've been going through so much, my sleep has been off for the last month. And even though I have the ability to go to sleep at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 6 or 5 and just continue my day, it's still not healthy to be operating off of 3, 4 hours of sleep. You can't be your most productive self if that keeps happening. And then also you might find yourself tired, and if you find yourself tired from continuing to do that, then who knows, you can get home one day that you get home at 3 and you can be asleep all the way until 8, 9 o'clock at night because you're tired from the previous night, and now you have slept away hours that you could have worked on business stuff so that you can go to sleep early that night and then wake up early. You see what I'm saying? So you have to make sure that you are aligning yourself with what makes sense for you, what makes sense for your goals. But for me, the number one thing, or not even the number one thing, the top 3 things that I am focusing on right now to get myself back on track outside of all of this is my sleep, my fitness, and literally like my health. So like water, drinking my water, eating healthy. As far as the house, that's happening now, the cleanup and everything like that. I'm gonna do a closet clear out, see what I want to keep, what I want to sell, what I want to do giveaway for, all of that type of stuff for Goodwill. I have my Goodwill bin over there, so some stuff that I'm like, I know I won't give this away because it's either it looks like too old or it looks too da 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 da, I'll send it to the Goodwill. But that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what your girl's doing. So those are the 3 things that I'm focusing on to get me back in routine. And then, like I said, just being able to write out my goals and having these notes and everything like that is going to truly get me where I need to get to as far as this week. So like I said, my hair, y'all seen it. I'll be undoing this for my 3 years tomorrow because I turned 3 years locked tomorrow. So I'm gonna undo the braids, and I'll probably do a get ready with me since I'm gonna be going to the job tomorrow. I'm not gonna vlog at the job like ever. I'm just not going to. So what I'm doing versus my actual updates are just gonna be camera talk about, but I'm not gonna be like vlogging on the job. Like, I just feel like I'm there to work, let me work and get out and keep that and keep this, and I'll just keep you guys updated, especially on things that I end up dealing with customer wise. Just understand that because I'm talking about leveling up and being an entrepreneur babe, or you know, I'm gonna be talking about some of the things that I experience, and I'm not going to talk negatively on the company. That's not what I'm saying. So for example, if I have a client who comes in and says, oh, you know, I want this, but I don't know that, but and then we're able to like figure out what they want at some point, then maybe I'll share with you about how important it is to make someone aware of how to make a decision when they're indecisive, like stuff like that. I'll be shedding light on perspectives, because if there's other boss babes who are watching my channel who are looking to elevate and evolve and grow, you might want to hear some of the circumstances that I'm dealing with, you know. Or if someone I don't know, knows exactly what they want, how to be more confident on you being able to communicate how things work, or you know, just being able to meet them at their level of confidence. So it'll be things like that, but it will never be me coming on here to bash the company or bash anybody in the company. Never will be that. My channel's not about that. I'm not gonna do it. There's no need for me to do it, and I will never be bashing them. So even if I ever leave, I always leave on a good note when I do come back, and I do leave. So I will never be bashing them. There's no need to. They're amazing people. But I'll just be talking about scenarios, like in some scenarios I would like for them to have happened, but if something happened that prompted me to think of something deeper that could be a situation, then I'll definitely talk on that, because I think that'll help. But your girly is going to be working on the goals. Right now I'm gonna do 1 book a month, okay? I don't know if I'm gonna add more books to read in a month, but for now, let's say we're doing 1 book, reading 1 book a month, and this is starting for July, okay? Because from July 1st, 2022 to July 1st, 2023, we're manifesting big changes, big goals, big energy, big business, right? So that's what we're gonna do. And then what else? So we're gonna do that. And then, like I said, we're just going to be working on just being consistent, being solid. I don't want one check from them to ever come in and I didn't apply it to any of the goals that I spoke on in these videos. So even if the checks are low to start out, because you know sometimes you get in and you throw it in a rotation, it's off a pay period week, it might be not that high of a check. But I want to know that you're still like, okay, well at least we put $20 here, we put $20 there, because it all adds up. And what I'm trying to do is get to a place where we're showing repeated history of positivity. So, you know, whatever the situation may be. So like I said, I'm gonna write everything out, I'm gonna get it together, go through my house, do all that. So the time is now to boss up. That's what your girl's gonna do. Let me upload this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful babies in the next video.